Anyways, you guys want to hit the next topic?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, since we talked about Fruit Loops, let's go into the segment I like to call Cereal Showdown. All right, each of you guys got to pick a mascot, and we're gonna have a battle royale to see which mascot would win.
You serious?
Yep. Okay.
Cereal mascots only,
I
right?
already got my mascot. I've been thinking about it all week.
All right.
I knew mine as soon as you said Cereal Showdown. There's only one true mascot in the end.
Okay, I already know who Sam's is gonna be.
I got my pick too.
All right.
Sam, we gotta go you first. We always go you first.
Okay. I hope I didn't steal anybody's mascot, but
Wait, hold up. So, tell your mascot. Tell some pros and some cons about your mascot, and we're gonna weigh the options.
all right. So the mascot is the good captain, Captain Crunch.
Holy smokes! I was expecting Toucan
I
Sam.
know, dude. Everybody would expect that, but nah. The true look, Toucan Sam actually works for Captain Crunch. Little known factoid.
Whoa.
So it's got to be the captain, right? Now the captain, he's a cool guy. He's so cool. He has his own ship. Whatever mascot you have, they definitely don't have their own ship. So that's a couple points lost right there, right? Dude, he's got like cannons,
Okay.
and I mean, have you seen the state of Captain Crunch? Like, have you had Captain Crunch?
It just rips my mouth up.
Exactly, bro. It's because you're too soft.
Not for the
Okay, so
not for the
Captain Crunch.
weak-willed.
So pro is he has a ship.
He's-
He controls Toucan Sam,
mhm,
and he also destroys the soft.
exactly.
Okay, some solid pros. What about some cons?
Some cons? I mean, well, I guess compared to a lot of
I got one.
mascots, he's a human, right?
He's a human.
Yeah, a lot of mascots are like some weird freaks in nature, but Captain Mascot keeps it real.
He has a peg leg. Just kick that bad boy out. He's like he's on crutches.
Why would you do that?
Well, I mean, we're having a showdown.
But to kick a man's peg leg out from under him,
It's almost like kicking a crutch out from
this
under a
is why
poor
this
defenseless
happened,
ninth
you
grader.
Max.
Okay, so you have those two cons. Is there another con, or do you think he's just like perfect?
Ah, I mean, I'm not sure cons, man. It's not really a whole lot of cons when it comes to Captain Crunch. I guess a lot of his power is tied up in his ship, right? So if you can get him on like land away from his ship, he's in. Well, nah, cause his ship's pretty versatile too. I'm pretty sure there's commercials where his ship is like just on land and with some crazy stuff.
Did you guys have the Captain Crunch CD? Back in the day, Captain Crunch came with a game where he had all these little Captain Crunch minions that you could color in, and then they like competed in like the Olympics.
Never in my life.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I remember playing a lot as a kid.
Yeah. I've never had Captain Crunch in my entire life.
Really?
So, yeah. Just never did for whatever reason.
I mean, that's acceptable.
I guess. I don't know.
I haven't eaten all the cereals.
That's also true. I only had like 3 or 4 cereals growing up.
Right. Once your family got locked into like a rotation, that's all you ate.
True, but it's all like I haven't actually met anyone who has said they have not had Captain Crunch. Like I'm sure plenty
Well,
of people I've met haven't had Captain Crunch, but I've never met anybody who's actually admitted to it till now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think what happened is that my mom like got wind of the fact that it's literally like 80% sugar and also like that the cardboard box was probably more nutritious. Remember that? That was like a myth that like if you ate the cardboard box of like those sugary cereals, it would be more nutritious than actually eating the cereals themselves.
I never heard
Did
of
people
this.
actually believe that?
Was that?
Did people believe that?
Well, I don't think people necessarily believed it. It was more just like poking fun at the fact that like the big cereals of of our day were just like, well, like half of them were just like sugary mess, you know,
Ugh.
like 200% of your daily value of sugar intake was from like one scoop of Captain Crunch.
Dang, they're gonna hate to see my cheat day because I eat a whole mega box by myself.
Well, let me tell you something. I think that was proven to be untrue.
Okay.
I think maybe like the Mythbusters ran a test on it where they figured out the caloric content of like cardboard versus like
cereal.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try to look that up later. But
Okay. I
anyway,
mean, that makes sense.
I think we're a little off
I think
topic.
we all can look at cereal and be like, yeah, it probably has more nutritional value than that piece of cardboard right there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially with
If
the
that were
milk,
some
dude.
like
I mean,
high quality cardboard, maybe. I mean,
never know.
We out here eating card stock, baby. Okay, is that your closing statement for Captain Crunch, Sam?
yeah.
Okay, AJ, what do you got?
So I'm between two mascots, both of which, unfortunately for you, Sam, I believe to possess supernatural or otherworldly powers,
Okay.
which might leave you at a distinct disadvantage in this contest. Um, However, I'm gonna have to pick one out of the two choices I have here. I might as well mention the two of them, and then I'll tell you which one I'm picking and why. Option A is Count Chocula.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Count.
I am actually
Yeah,
pretty
I think-
familiar, but continue.
He only
You're
comes
unfamiliar with the count?
No.
he comes around only during the Halloween season. So he's a seasonal dude. Okay, you can't find him year round.
Oh.
Yeah. Number two, Count Chocula turns the milk into chocolate milk. So, if that tickles your fancy, big points to the Count for that. Now, Max, are you ready for option B?
Yeah, what's option B?
Option B is the smiling sun from Raisin Bran.
Oh, I think he's probably gonna win.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
This should be like a band character, man. I don't know. It's kind
He's in
S
the
tier.
band tier.
Well,
Yeah.
mine's gonna beat the sun, but let me hear you. What
Yours
you
is
got
gonna
for
beat
that.
the sun.
Oh yeah, I've already won.
This is a
but we're
bold
just gonna keep on
statement.
going.
Yeah, hang on, Max. What the hell? How do you beat
Well,
the
let me
sun?
hear your pros and cons, and I'm
All
just
right,
gonna
all right.
destroy both
Fine.
of your
I'm gonna
guys's.
commit. I love the Count. I really do. But I only had the Count once or twice in my time. I've always been a big fan of the brand. All right, we're fans of the brand here.
The Count has a
Fans of the
glaring
brand.
weakness. You said he's a seasonal character, right? So like,
He's
if you
seasonal.
show up if the battle gets scheduled for a not Halloween
July.
season, he
Yeah,
automatically
July.
loses by default.
Just can't. He's hibernating or something.
Yeah.
He's up in his little his castle out in Transylvania or what have you. So yeah, I suppose I'm gonna go with the Raisin Bran Sun.
Okay,
Who-
pros and cons.
Pros, I mean, quite literally capable of like hydrogen fusion and generating enough heat for the entire like known solar system.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, immense size, like unbelievable size, probably larger than any other character, quite imaginable in this
Okay.
contest. Number three, he provides you with 2 scoops of raisins. So I don't know where you stand on raisins, but I'm a fan. I think they are superior to grapes in every way, shape, and form. And when paired with bran type cereal, you can't beat it. As far as I'm concerned.
All solid. But what about some cons?
I could see the size being a negative factor when it comes to like actual combat capabilities. Like being the largest known body in the solar system, really is like damaging to your capabilities as a fighter.
Yeah.
Pretty unwieldy.
You got a large hitbox too.
Huge hitbox, immense. I mean, every attack is landing. For both verbal
I
and
got a con.
physical. Another con, again, there's a very definitive lifespan at some point where a star burns out, and then you're just left with nothing. So, I'm not immortal. I know Sam's choice wasn't immortal either, but I'm afraid your choice might be, Max. So
My choice is gonna blow both yours out of the
So-
water. I have another con though, for the sun.
okay.
He can only fight 12 hours out of the day.
Also true.
I suppose if you look at it that way, yeah, you really only have half the hours in a day to be combat effective.
So is that your closing cons?
I choose the Raisin Bran Sun as my fighter, and yes, those are the pros and cons.
All right. Well, it was fun match, and I really appreciate you guys playing. But I've already won.
GG.
My mascot is the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cannibals.
You mean
They are the superior mascot.
the little square guys who are always like eating each other?
Yeah, now hear me out, right? They're cannibals. They run a different pack. They eat each other. They don't play by any rules known to man. Sure, they're small, but every hour on the hour, there's another commercial playing them eating each other, which means that they infinitely generate constantly. There's so many of them that they're going to stack their way up to the sun and eat that mofo.
I mean,
Now,
I've seen them, open their mouths and stretch impossibly wide to use their abilities, I suppose.
yep,
So the logic is sound as far as I'm concerned.
they are structurally sound, so they're going to stack their way up to that mofo. And they're just going to kamikaze him until they blot out the sun.
All right, we got some decent pros here.
Now, another one is they hold their structural integrity under milk. So seawater, no issue. They are going to jet to that boat, and they're going to eat that bad boy like termites.
Okay. But
Bit of a stretch.
Dude, they're
all
the
right.
best.
So now I've questions, right, about the what is the bite strength, right, of these termites, quote unquote.
They bite so hard that it makes an audible sound on the commercials.
That is a wide range that could fall into.
It's going to take them a little bit to tear apart the boat, I think. And probably a real lot bit to tear apart the sun.
Okay.
But I think they could do it.
And now these guys, right? Are they swimmers or like?
No, they're going to sacrifice their own to use as like a platform.
And will their morale hold up under such a sacrifice?
They eat each other, so probably.
Okay.
They're devoid of all emotion.
The fact that they eat each other, that also means that they're rather selfish creatures, right? And I'm not sure that they have the cohesion necessary to undertake the feats that you're describing.
Wait a sec.
Sam just shot a hole into my whole
Wait
entire
a sec.
argument.
They're so
They're
preoccupied.
cannibals.
They're so preoccupied with going after each other that Sam could just ride across the horizon to victory.
Oh, shit. Ew.
You know,
Okay, so it looks like Captain Crunch is, or not Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is out.
yeah,
So,
it's a strong character, but at the end of the, honestly, I'm not sure that they're necessarily out, right? Because like you said, they're infinitely regenerating, but their cohesion is not there, so they can't be defeated, but they can't defeat anything
But-
either.
every commercial, they always end eating each other.
And that's exactly why they lose.
And that's why they're going to lose. So it turns out I flew too close to the Raisin Bran sun, and now I've fallen into the pit of Captain Crunch.
You played yourself.
I played myself. Okay, so we got to figure out who's going to win, the sun or Captain Crunch.
All right. Then this is a really tough one, right? The first question you gotta ask yourself is, how old is Captain Crunch? How many years does he have left? Is he capable of taking combat to the sun? And
How many men under his command does he have? What's his
He had
strength?
a lot of those fur balls in the video game.
so
He has
So,
an army at his command, Max. Is that what you're saying?
yes, but he's also not a real captain.
Oh, I see.
what do you mean?
Because his title is captain. It's not actually captain. It's like not an abbreviation. So he's like a fake general.
No.
That's a technicality, Max.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's-
can't,
okay,
don't
we'll
try
just
to
say that's a
expose the
technicality.
captain like that.
If the captain's gonna lose, it's not gonna be like that.
Yeah.
He's
But
clearly
he does have an army.
well, he clearly
Yeah.
has the chops to lead men
Yeah.
and to command others.
Matter of fact,
Yes.
man, I think it's interesting, right? So he's not a real captain, but they call him captain anyway. They don't have to call him captain, but they choose to call him captain.
That is wild. But how is the captain going to take down the sun?
But how is the
Well-
sun going to take down the captain?
Well, let me put
Sunburn.
Let me put it this way. First of all, you have the inevitable answer, which is the heat death of the universe. Number
Okay.
two, Number two, you have is the captain. I think you already established, Sam, that the captain is not an immortal figure.
Well, it's questionable. I mean, have we seen the captain age from commercial to commercial? He might be some kind of immortal being, and we just don't know.
Ooh, it's left ambiguous then.
Yeah.
So, and you just have to assume the worst on that. So perhaps he does have an infinite lifespan.
Yeah.
You know, age is just not a factor to him.
This is true.
So then you know what that means. The only realm for which them to do battle in is on the astral plane. It's the only option now.
You raise a good point.
As far as I can see, that's the only direction this takes.
So how do you get into the astral plane?
I believe the answer is shrouded in secrecy. So the question remains unanswerable.
Dang, we really had our first serial showdown, and we can't even
It's
astral plane
Well,
body.
let
battle
me
each
put it
other.
this way, Max. You be the judge. You know, we got me on one side, Sam on the other. Who takes home the dub?
I don't know.
You're the ref.
I mean,
here.
what's the sun gonna do to the captain besides sunburn?
Yeah, because the captain. So the captain can't get close enough to defeat the sun, right? But the sun can't get close enough to defeat the captain due to the gravity.
Well, I mean, you're also if leaving out the fact that the sun wields the power of hydrogen, like the atom itself.
Okay. True.
The
True.
possibilities are endless.
But Captain has Captain Crunch, so he's basically endless too.
And he's got it. He outnumbers you too. Like we outnumber you pretty heavily.
I am just but one entity.
Yeah. And
You
so
know?
conceivably, depending on the captain's abilities, the captain could outlast you, right? Potentially, in the worst case scenario.
In theory.
In theory, in the worst case scenario, it's possible for the captain, or the best case scenario in my case, the captain to outlast you. But in outlasting the sun, he's kind of dooming himself. Like anybody who outlasts you is only going to have 8 minutes to live, right?
And before the captain's entire universe is plunged into infinite, unending darkness, yeah.
Yeah.
And is that any way to live?
No.
No. I mean, it's like that. I think Futurama had an episode like that. I also could be wrong. I don't know. That's besides the point. Back to Max, though.
I'm so torn up. I kind of think the Raisin Bran son would win because he's gonna outlive Captain, but
Well,
Captain
that's
hasn't aged since I was a child, which means that in 24 years he didn't age one.
And it's dangerous to make assumptions that he ages at all, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he could just be immortal.
it's a slip.
So I think this is gonna have to be a tie.
So,
Just a hard tie.
I think so.
all right. Let's say you get the captain on the ship, right? And the ship gets to space, and the captain is headed towards the sun. What happens?
The ship probably burns up.
Well,
The sun's hot.
you know that brings us to a good point. Has the captain ever been depicted as the captain of a starship in any media, or has he always been a sea-based pirate?
Maybe an oops all
Oh,
berries.
Yeah, so I think he's always been. Whoa. What is Oops All Berries?
It's a cereal. There was like a berry version of Captain Crunch
Oh.
that had like regular Captain Crunch mixed in, and they were like oops all berries, and it was just the berry cereal.
But wait,
I think maybe he was like a spaceship captain on that
Oh,
box,
shoot.
but I could be wrong.
wait, you gotta slow that down a little bit because that's two entire steps removed from Captain Crunch.
It's also true.
You're
Well,
saying,
it's Captain Crunch oops all berries.
but it's Captain Crunch, berries, and then you go a step further from that, and it's oops all berries
yeah,
without the
it's like
captain.
no, it's like Captain
It-
Crunch oops all berries.
So,
But there's no Captain Crunch anymore. You're two steps removed from
well,
it.
he's on the
Yeah, it's
box,
like-
right? Presumably.
Oh, he's
but-
on the box.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
like
he's
this
on the
is- So it's the
box.
Captain Crunch cereal, but it's just all berries. So Captain Crunch is like the grains. It's got a lot of like grain stuff in there, but then
Yeah,
it's also got
it's like
berries
peanut butter
in there,
bits.
right? But some
But you
people,
said it's all berries.
yeah, some people only like the berries, so they made a variant of Captain Crunch. Oops, all berries.
Let me ask
But
you
AJ's
something.
bringing up the point, like, let's say you have a bicycle, but you replace every single part on the bicycle. Is it still the same bicycle?
But then again, let's say you have a bicycle, right? And then you take out the rest of the bicycle, but you have like 15 wheels on it in the shape of a bicycle. It's still a bicycle.
Oh my god.
Well, no, because bicycle's 2 wheels.
Sam has just
That's
blown
15 wheels.
Sam has just completely blown the ship of Theseus theory out of the water. Just completely detonated it. Shot it into the sun.
And that was Cereal Showdown. We'll be right back after this ad read. Welcome back to the S.A.M Experience. We have some additional statements regarding the Captain Crunch. Take it away, boys.
Oh, so yeah, in doing some research during the lengthy commercial break, I've discovered that Captain Crunch has in fact been to space. He's been depicted as an astronaut on the box of Captain Crunch's Galactic Crunch cereal. So not only does he have the technology to, travel through space, another picture has him conferring with an alien, which leads me to believe his, really the sky's the limit for this guy. He could put together an entire armada of spaceships, and the question then becomes, is that enough to literally kill the sun? Sam?
This is a poignant question, man. We were really unaware that the captain's service record was as deep as it was, dude. Like directly conferring with aliens. This guy has an armada under his belt. Really, like it's just incredible, unprecedented even.
It is. Truly is.
So could they kill the sun, and would they survive the endeavor? Will they survive the aftermath? I think that's a question to put forward to our audience, right? Maybe one of the
Yeah, in the
Ooh.
comments.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
leave a
know.
comment.
Yeah, throw your winners in the comments. Raisin Brand or the Captain.
All
Yeah,
right.
let us know.
Yeah, we really want to know. I mean, we'll shout out the winner of the comment section, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or not. Who
So-
knows?
Yeah, who knows?